welcome to another episode of Active Quest. This is our special E3 episode for Bethesda. I am actually alone by myself this time. Chris Penwell is busy today, or at least at this part of the day, and Joseph Yaden is covering E3 for PlayStation Lifestyle. But we wanted to make sure that you still got that coverage for E3, and we can't skip out Bethesda. I mean, they're a pretty big deal. Especially with the amount of IPs they command and the amount of worlds that are at their disposal. So, it was a pretty good show. I just finished watching it and taking my notes, and I really enjoyed it. I think they had a really good flow. So let's just get right into it. So it starts off with Pete Hines coming out on stage. He just stresses the diversity of all the experiences that they have in the Bethesda catalog. And he also expresses his gratitude towards the fans, which was nice. And then Todd Howard came out, and oh man, this was great. He touched on, he humorously touched on how Fallout 76 may have kind of tested the fans. But he did quickly jump into how 60 million plus players have been enjoying all of Bethesda's games in the last year. Not just 76, but, you know, all their games. And that's the most they've ever had in a year. So that was a good way to handle it, I think, because Fallout 76 has had a very, very rocky launch. But people have stuck with them on that. So it stresses the relationship. It just kind of shows the relationship between Bethesda and its fans. So after that, Todd Howard jumped right into Fallout 76. He talked about how they've received a lot of criticism and how it's fair. But they also discussed how it's been helpful receiving that feedback and how the goodwill of the community has helped shape the game and help the developer improve the game, the development team improve the game. So, it's tough, okay, because I remember seeing articles where it was revealed that Bethesda knew the game had some issues. I think they should have delayed it. But at the same time, it is nice they're improving it. It is nice that they're working on it. And it is nice they're doing these free content updates. So, I think if they keep it up, this game could absolutely have the same kind of redemption arc as the first entry in the Division series from Ubisoft, or like No Man's Sky, you know? Games may sometimes release unfinished, but the nice thing is at least these games do end up being great sometimes, eventually. I do wish that these kind of situations would result in a delay, but hey, at least they're improving the game. He also talks about the goodwill of the community and how the community itself is just a really good environment. And I see some of that on Reddit and online. I see a lot of good experiences. I've seen some bad experiences too, but overall I think that what Todd Howard was saying does seem to be in line with what I've mostly seen, which is there are a lot of good experiences between the community. And there's less griefing than you could expect in a kind of game that doesn't have a lot of implementation to prevent it, for example. So he made a little joke about how, that gives him hope for when the actual apocalypse happens someday in real life. So that was neat. And then he discusses the Elder Scrolls Blades, and he discusses how this is Bethesda's second number one mobile game. And after that, Craig Lafferty and Matt Carfano come out and discuss the importance and staying power of the dungeon crawler genre. They talk about new content, including solo arena battles, custom jewelry system, new jobs, and a brand new dungeon quest line. And that content all released that night. This is being recorded the 10th of June, but that was all released that night of the conference, so June 9th. He also announced that Blades is coming to Nintendo Switch. With a release date for fall 2019, and they also talked about how you don't need to wait to jump into it because cross-play and cross-progression does exist between the mobile versions on Google and Android and Apple iOS systems, and the Switch version. So that's pretty cool. You jump in right now, check it out, and you can also just pick it up and keep playing on the Switch, and the Switch version will also be free. They also talked about how it's a good time to jump in because they're going to have some exclusive rewards that night for the Apple and Google versions of the game. Again, that was last night, June 9th. I'm sure they're still available though. Yeah, so that sounds cool. I'm definitely down with mobile spin-offs as long as they don't replace the franchise that we love so much. And this is a great example of kind of bridging the gap between those two kinds of games, I think, especially the being on Switch. So I might have to check that out sometime soon when I'm not drowning in console games. I'll probably end up checking out Nintendo Switch, honestly, and I could see Joseph and Chris checking it out on Switch as well this fall when it releases. So after that, co-studio director Tom Mustaine and project leader Jeff Gardner for Fallout 76 come out, and they discuss new content in the way after, of course, stressing the feedback they received and how nice that's been. They announce Wastelanders, which is a new content update that adds NPCs, new weapon, gear, and quests. And man, I've never heard bigger applause for NPCs. People were going fucking wild. But the footage they showed did kind of make it look like this kind of adds a traditional Fallout style to the game. I don't think it's going to feel completely like Fallout 4, but it adds that flavor, which is nice. That kind of helps flesh the world out a little bit more. They also talked about how they're doing a free trial week, and that's from today when this is being recorded, June 10th to June 17th, and that's on all platforms. And they also have a 52-player Battle Royale mode called Nuclear Winter that starts today, June 10th as well. They called it a sneak peek, which leads me to believe this might just be around this week while, as kind of a test. And maybe the Battle Royale mode will fully launch later. So mixed emotions on that. I should first start by saying I love Battle Royale. I enjoy PUBG a lot. Fortnite is appealing in its own way. It's not my preferred way to play Battle Royale, but I definitely see the appeal. I lean towards PUBG. And then Blackout on Black Ops 4 I play from time to time, and I enjoy that. I have not played Firestorm on Battlefield 5, but I have watched Shroud play it on Twitch, and it looks cool. So anyway, I'm just saying I'm interested in Battle Royale. The concept of it, the execution is what would determine whether or not I would want to get invested in it. I'm at least going to check it out. I mean, why not? It's free this week to check out the Fallout 76 game itself and this mode. I will say that I think the Battle Royale mode in Fallout, definitely could be really appealing, and it looks like it could be interesting. But one part of me is also like, maybe let's focus on, fleshing this game out more and kind of quote-unquote fixing it, I mean, I say in quotes because they are working on it already, but it's not fixed all the way yet. But at the same time, they're not putting that all on hold to do this. Bethesda's a big company, and they can do a lot of things at once. They can multitask. They have huge teams. So I'm sure this isn't really impacting the road to repair with this game. So I'm going to check that out. I'll hopefully have more to report our next main episode. So after that, Todd Howard came back out on stage. He stressed they are still working on Starfield and the Elder Scrolls 6. He discussed that the game worlds are special to Bethesda and all the many developers under its umbrella. And he also said that they understand that these worlds are special to the fans as well, and how they want to make sure they get these worlds right. I think the main point of him coming back out and talking about that was just in case anyone was upset about Blades, and, mobile games and the Battle Royale mode, etc. So they are still working on those traditional experiences that we have known and loved from Bethesda for a long time. So I don't expect to see Starfield or Elder Scrolls 6 for a while. I mean, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if those don't even come out until 2021. So next up was Shinji Mikami came out from Tango Gameworks. He's the head of the studio, of course. For anyone unfamiliar with Tango Gameworks, they gave us the Evil Within. And if my memory is correct, Shinji Mikami is also the kind of main creator of Resident Evil. He's not involved with the series anymore, but his roots are definitely deeply in survival horror. So he announced a new game. It's called Ghostwire Tokyo, We don't know a lot about it. We just know you battle paranormal enemies, and you're going to stop a supernatural evil. The creative director, Akumi Nakamura, entered the stage as well, and she came out and talked about how it's going to be a spooky game. It's going to be scary, but it is not a survival horror like the other games they're known for. We know it takes place in Tokyo. We got a trailer that looked like it was a CGI trailer. It didn't look like it was an engine. I could be mistaken. I mean, who knows when this is releasing, but it definitely didn't look like in-game footage. But kind of gave us a concept of the game a little bit. Not a lot of detail, but we see people disappear out of thin air. Their clothes are just on the floor. We see presumably some enemies holding umbrellas approach what appear to be the protagonist. The enemies were creepy, and I mean, it looks great. No release date was given. Don't have a lot of details, but you know what I did see, I'm confident it's going to be good, especially knowing what they've delivered in the past. It's not like this is their first game from this studio, and of course these people have also worked on games in the past as well. I'm definitely excited. I know Joseph will be excited too. He also likes horror games a lot, just like I do. I'm interested to hear Chris's thoughts when we get to talk about this, because I think he likes horror to an extent, just not quite as much as Joseph and I. So then they played a video. It just showed people from all different backgrounds that play, enjoy, and love Bethesda games. It was nice. It was a touching video, and it also reflected the staying power of the many different IPs in the Bethesda family. I mean, you had one woman was cosplaying as the protagonist in Prey, Morgan. And there was just people from all kinds of different backgrounds, programmers, developers, just all kinds of different people that were just, and it's nice not only to be reminded of that, but it's also nice to see that Bethesda recognizes that, because representation is very important, and it's nice that they realize that and they see that. So after that, Matt, I don't know how to say his name, Firor, Fior. I'm terrible with names. Matt Fire. I'm just going to say Fire. He came out on stage and discussed the Elder Scrolls Online. He talked about how important the fan base is to the studio. He also discussed that they've had millions of new players join last year, and they've added new servers to support all those new players. There's a new dungeon adventure kind of expansion coming out called Scalebreaker. People went fucking nuts. Not much is known about it, doesn't look like, but it's good that they're supporting the game. It's good that they're in touch with their fans. That was nice. Kind of a weird announcement. I'm trying to reserve judgment, but man, it was kind of weird. I would put this on the same level as Command & Conquer on mobile from EA last year. Commander Keen is coming to mobile devices in a free-to-play style format. The creative director, I didn't see a spelling, there wasn't a pop-up for her name, so I might have spelled her name wrong in the doc, but Kira Schlitt was her name. She's the creative director for the studio, or for that game. They show a trailer, it's animated, not gameplay, and it's got kind of a wacky Saturday morning cartoon style. It could be good. I don't think it's fair to say it's going to be bad. I mean, we don't know. And I'm not going to pretend to really know a lot about Commander Keen. All I know is it's one of id's earliest IPs from years ago, 20, 30 years ago. And I know it's kind of a 2D side-scroller game. That's all I really know about it. I haven't personally played the games. But it certainly seems strange to revive it in this format. I don't know. I do want to kind of mention, though, it's Bethesda. I mean, they've done 2 mobile games so far. Fallout Shelter, which a lot of people really loved and enjoyed. And they've also done Elder Scrolls Blades, which people are enjoying that as well. And I'm looking forward to playing it in Switch. So I think we should reserve judgment for now. But I also I'm cautiously optimistic. So yeah, maybe it'll release on Nintendo Switch as well, like Blades and Fallout Shelter. They did not say that, though. Right now, we just have Summer 19 release date for Apple and Android. I mean, hey, it's free. Why not check it out? Again, I'm cautiously optimistic. We'll see, though. It could be good. Definitely a strange announcement, though. Not only just from Commander Keen being revived after decades of it not being used, but it's also just kind of a weird way to bring it back, I think. But yeah, we'll see. So Pete Hines comes back out and discusses their successes in the mobile games they've done so far. Fallout Shelter's reached 150 million plus downloads. I think this is just to kind of instill confidence, hey, give us a chance at Commander Keen. We know what we're doing. So He also talked about Elder Scrolls Legends, which is kind of the Hearthstone style Elder Scrolls game. It has a new expansion coming out called Moons of I think it's just Elsewhere. I know it's not spelled like Elsewhere, but I think that's how it's pronounced, Elsewhere. And that releases June 27th, 2019. I haven't played Elder Scrolls Legends. It looks interesting. I mean, I only have so many, like you, I only have so much time to spend on games, and some stuff I don't get to check out just because I only have so much time, and the card game kind of format is appealing to an extent for me, but it's not quite appealing enough to pull me away from RPGs and first-person shooters and platformers and whatnot. But I mean, it looks cool. I'll probably have to check it out sometime. On mobile, it'd be cool if they brought that to Switch too. Hopefully they do. Anyway, moving on. Rage 2. Pete Hines discussed the road ahead for that game. He discusses the community challenges they've done and all the new content in the way. They had a cute little sitcom theme song kind of style trailer play that highlighted new expansion that's coming out called Rise of the Ghosts. They showed new weapons and cheat codes, and so it certainly looks interesting if you're already invested in Rage. I don't know if it'll be enough to pull people in that aren't already invested. In the past, on the show we've discussed, Joseph reviewed it for PlayStation Lifestyle. He liked the shooting mechanics. He did not enjoy the open world aspects. Chris got it from the library recently and checked it out, and he kind of agreed with Joseph. For me, it's kind of on the back burner. I'm probably going to pick it up at Black Friday. I'm hoping to grab it for like $30-$40, and I don't think I'll be playing it around Black Friday just because, I mean, man, I'm already backlogged, and we've got a shitload of stuff coming out at the end of this year. But that's for me, that's what I'm waiting for, is my backlog to clear up. It looks interesting enough to check out, but speaking of my backlog, holy shit, we got 2 Wolfenstein games in the way. We already knew about these, but executive producer from Machine Head Games came out. I'm probably going to get the pronunciation wrong. I think he was pronounced Garrick Gustafsson. He came out on stage and showed off some footage of Wolfenstein stuff on the way. We've got Cyberpilot, which is releasing PSVR, and that comes out in July. And then, of course, Wolfenstein Youngblood also comes out in July. So that's freaking great. We've got 2. We already knew those were coming out. I don't know if we knew Cyberpilot was coming out in July. I think we just knew 2019. I don't know. I think we knew it was coming out in July. I don't remember. I'm sorry. But yeah, I know Youngblood we already knew about. I've got that pre-ordered. I'm buying both those games. I fucking love Wolfenstein. Both games look great. I'm looking forward to the co-op on Youngblood. And Cyberpilot, it's got a cool premise for it being in PSVR. You're kind of controlling mechs and killing Nazis that way. And Jarek Gustafsson talked about killing Nazis a lot, which is great because, fuck Nazis. Okay, so Dinga Bakaba and Sebastian Mitten from Arcane Studios came out next, and they are the game director and art director, respectively, of Arcane Studios. So Arcane developed Dishonored, and they also developed Prey. And they announced their next game with a CGI trailer. It's called Deathloop. They said it's got a mind-bending story. It looks like it's built around time manipulation. It kind of reminded me of kind of the stylish nature of Remedy games, kind of like Quantum Break and Max Payne. I know that's not necessarily like time control, but that kind of stylish action. So it looks cool. We don't know a lot about it, but what they did show was promising and enticing. I'm looking forward to that. No release date was given, just kind of like, hey, this is happening. And again, no gameplay footage. We kind of saw gameplay represented in CGI, and but yeah, no actual in-game gameplay. So they had a little video play again from Bethesda fans. It was the same kind of fans that were talking before, and they just talked about how representation and emotional response are great in Bethesda games, and representation is great, and I'm seeing a lot of that in Bethesda games. And emotional response Bethesda games. I mean, from Doom to Dishonored to Elder Scrolls to Fallout. I think that's a accurate description of Bethesda. They do have a good handling of emotional response. Had to get a drink of my La Croix. Joseph, if you're listening, it's berry flavored. It's still my favorite flavor. Anyway, Robert Duffy, the Chief Technology Officer at id Software, and James Altman, the Director of Publishing at Bethesda, they came out and discussed pretty much just games technology. And it's called Orion. At least that's the name they've got so far. I'm not sure if it's a code name or the final name. But it's software developed by id. And it lets games stream with like lower latency. And it's supposed to optimize streaming and make it work a lot better. Not a lot of details were given. But I will say id Software has been creating incredible technology since day one. I mean, they were almost, not quite, kind of known as for their technology more than their gameplay, or their games, excuse me. And I say almost because, like, they're known for Doom. They're known for incredible games. But I'm just saying their technology is so known in the industry and so well designed and crafted so well that, I mean, they're almost known for that more than their games. And I say almost because, again, their games are fucking, like, known around the world, and people that don't even play games know about Doom and Wolfenstein and whatnot. But I'm just saying that, yeah, their technology has always been right up there, just kind of like Epic with their Unreal Engine. So, yeah, this is already exciting, just knowing, hey, id's working on new technology. That alone is exciting because that helps drive the industry towards the future. It is definitely at the forefront of technology. So, not a lot given, but cool information nonetheless. So, at the next thing that we were given was Doom Eternal. I got a trailer. I mean, it's Doom. It looks fucking incredible. I'm excited. One thing that stuck out to me, looked like there were a lot of new animations, and the lighting was incredible. And I just want to touch on the lighting for a second by stressing that the lighting in Doom 2016 was great, but it looked even more vibrant in Doom Eternal. Heaven, hell, and traveling across different dimensions were touched on. Just another reminder about how great id Software is at making technology and games just woven into one beautiful package. So yeah, Doom Eternal looks great. Definitely a day one buy for me. I know Joseph will be getting it day one, I'm sure, as well. He's a big fan of Doom. We'll have to check in with Chris and see what he thinks. But yeah, I know Joseph and I will at least be getting it day one. So after that, there was a lot of applause because, I mean, it's fucking Doom, right? I mean, and the footage looked great. If you haven't seen the trailer, go check it out. It looks fantastic. Next, the creative director of Doom Eternal, Hugo Martin, and the executive producer of Doom Eternal, Marty Stratton, they came out and discussed Doom Eternal a little bit. And they talked about how powerful and awesome the Doomslayer is. Of course, gameplay was shown. We saw a lot of first-person platforming, and it looked really, really... the first-person platforming is good in Doom 2016. I don't really have any complaints about it in Doom 2016. But, I mean, it looks even better here. It looks even tighter. It looks even more responsive. And I like first-person platforming when it's done well. And it was done well before, and it looks like it's done even better now. So that was exciting. They showed off the collector's edition. Well, kind of. They showed that there is a collector's edition, and they showed it comes with a Doomslayer helmet that you can wear. So, I mean, that's pretty great. And they showed off the multiplayer experience for Doom Eternal briefly with a little trailer. It's called Battle Mode. 2-player controlled demons take on the Doomslayer. Reminded me of Juggernaut back on Halo 2, which was really fun. It was 2-on-1 combat as well. But yeah, this looks great. It looks really fun. The trailer looked awesome. I think it's a good way to combine the environments and combat and gameplay in Doom with other players. Team Deathmatch is definitely something I want to see in Doom Eternal as well. But this is an exciting... I don't want to say wholly original because, I mean, this kind of concept's been done before in a game. But this is their first take on it in Doom. To my knowledge, I don't remember anything like this existing in Doom 2016. But yeah, it looks great. I'm excited for that. So yeah, lots of great announcements. I saw a little bit of negativity online for Bethesda's conference, and that kind of made me almost dread watching it. But I mean, it was really exciting for me. The pacing was great. They bounced around from updates to new stuff to updates to, hey, we're still working on those games we announced, and here's a trailer for stuff coming out soon. Pacing was great, and they celebrated past Bethesda successes and Bethesda's fans while also looking towards the future. So, yeah, I thought it was a great show. It was really exciting. It's nice to see just a reminder at the catalog that's on the way and already exists from Bethesda, because they own a lot of great studios under that umbrella, and you can get a lot of great narrative experiences from Bethesda. I think people are really quick to credit Sony, deservingly so, with incredible single-player experiences. But, I mean, hey, Bethesda's right up there with them, delivering some great single-player experiences as well. And it's something you can always count on, are great single-player experiences from Bethesda. So, thank you, everyone, for stopping by. Don't forget to check us out on any place you listen to podcasts. If you came across this on YouTube or maybe a podcast platform that you don't typically use, we're on everything from Apple to Google to Stitcher, Spotify, Podbean. And if we're not on a platform that you'd like us to be on, let us know on Twitter, because we can make sure to get on that platform. We want to make sure that we are where you like to listen to us. So we are on Twitter at ActiveQuest Show. We are also on Instagram and Facebook, and we really appreciate all your continued support. And please don't forget to check out our Xbox episode, which already was published yesterday. And we will also be doing a Ubisoft and Square Enix episode. Those two episodes will be separate as well. That way people that want to check out one or the other can check those out, or check them both out. But that way that footage is all in one spot, or that coverage is all in one spot. And then we will also, of course, be doing an episode for Nintendo's upcoming Nintendo Direct tomorrow, Tuesday, June 11th. So thank you again for stopping by, and we'll see you soon. All right, bye.